Welcome everybody to the season finale of Year 2 in the Denver Broncos franchise on Madden 20. It's been quite the season. Not the season I was planning on having here for the second year of the series, but things don't always go as planned. We entered today, the last game of the season, with a 5-10 record. We know we're not going to the postseason, and we know there is a lot of work to do in the offseason, which will be tomorrow, live, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Be there to see the next chapter of the Denver Broncos franchise begin. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you are not subscribed, so definitely subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you know when that stream goes live. And I am very much looking forward to it, trying to get over-prepared for this offseason. And also at the end of this game, I'm going to do a small recap of the season. There's not a whole lot to talk about that I haven't already talked about all season long. But we're going to wrap it all up today, everybody. Welcome to Denver and the final game of the 2019-2020 season. Speedster Kari Bigby Manton gets away from a group of Raiders. He's across the 50 and taken down. A little excitement here from Kari Bigby as we get things underway for Adam Kane and the Bronco offense. Kane making his 9th start today, trying to show us that he can be the quarterback we're counting on moving forward. Starting at the Raider 45, it is a first play handoff to Royce Freeman, who picks up a couple. Richie James is the slot receiver on the right side, as it looked like a Raider defender jumped. Adam Kane with that hard count got it to work last week. Now 3rd and short, inside give, and a first down picked up by J.D. McKissick. Raiders showing pressure here, 2 linebackers in the A-gap. This is McKissick into 3 Raider defenders. Not much room there. 3rd and long with Richie James slot left. They'll dial up some more pressure, and Kane fires complete. Richie James, first down. James hasn't had the huge role on offense this year. I do feel he's been a bit underutilized. Handoff McKissick now with running room on the right side. He'll pick up 8. Already 4 carries on the opening drive for McKissick. 3rd down for the Broncos. Kane out of the pocket now and dumps it for Freeman. He's met around the 10, maybe gaining 1. It's 4th down in this offense, as they've done recently. They're going for it. 4th and 1, the hard count again. Running Freeman outside, diving in, an opening drive touchdown for Denver. When's the last time we did that? Seriously. Nice to see Freeman find the end zone again. That is his 6th rushing touchdown this year. And that'll bring out the Raider offense. They are 4-11 this season. They were a very bad team a year ago. Not much improvement here this season. And Derek Carr will hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs here, finishing his 2nd season. He hasn't had a ton of playing time this year either for some reason. He's around 600 rushing yards on the year. Now 2nd down, and Carr connects over the middle. It's a short catch made by Tyrell Williams. Single high look from Denver's defense. Jacobs runs right, and he meets Will Parks. Not much room there. It sets up 3rd down. Again, single high safety. Carr fires left, knocked away by the right hand of Bryce Callahan. Incomplete. This Bronco defense has put together a special season, even if the team as a whole hasn't been successful. Bigby returns the punt, and you can see he has a different gear than a lot of other players. I saw him return that kick last week and knew he had to return more in week 16. Here's Kane, little check down to Royce Freeman. He'll run over a Raider defender. And if he can continue to catch the ball well, he's going to get even more playing time, I believe, in the future. This one's out quick as there was an unblocked defender, and it's right on target for Deshaun Hamilton. Raiders showing more pressure. They drop out. Kane's pass outside, intercepted, and the Raiders have it in Bronco territory. Good play, Patrick Robinson, the veteran corner. He's able to sit between receivers so he can break on either target. That's a nice play. Raiders football now after Kane's 13th interception of the season. And they're going to get some pressure on Carr, and that's a sack for Von Miller. It's a double-digit sack season with that. It's been another dominant season for this pass rush. Now 3rd and 16. Just throwing it short. Here is Jalen Richard, and he will pick up maybe 7 yards or so. Let's see if Kane can put that interception behind him. Offset pistol look on 2nd down, and Kane cannot find Noah Fant. The coverage from Carl Joseph was very tight. Bunched look here on this 3rd down. Kane over the middle with pressure at his feet, and now he throws it too low for Noah Fant. It has felt like this year with both Kane and Hudson Brooks that they haven't really responded well to throwing interceptions and making mistakes. Maybe it's a lack of confidence or something. 3rd down and 10, and here's Carr. He'll look downfield with this one, and the ball comes free. And it looked like they were going to have Board alone for a 1st down. Quick drives, and the Broncos have it again. A run up the middle, and there's daylight for Royce Freeman out across the 35 of Denver. 2 tight ends on the field for Denver, and they run left with more running room. Freeman to the 47-yard line. Nice start to this possession. 70-plus rushing yards already for this offense. Now they'll throw it, and clearing open is Cortland Sutton. Everybody focused on the tight ends. He was all alone. New back in the game, Kareth White's going to carry this one, and he has a 1st down as they involve the young running back, former 7th-round pick of the Chicago Bears. Another pressure look from Oakland, and this is intercepted! Trying to get it to Bigby. This is returned in Denver territory as Bigby chases down Patrick Robinson, his 2nd interception. Another really nice play by the veteran. Adam Kane now with 14 interceptions on the year. And a short field for the Raider offense. Carr, plenty of time. Finally throws it, caught. Around the 10, Antonio Brown. Oakland trying to tie this up. They go offset pistol. Running ahead, getting some hang time here is Jacobs. Gain of a couple. Out of the shotgun, everybody in tight. It is 3rd down. Carr protected, fires end zone, flag down as Hunter Renfrow makes the catch, but he had stepped out of bounds. It will not count. Denver takes over after an Oakland field goal. Kane with 2 first-half interceptions, now checking it down, and Freeman dragging a defender ahead to the 32-yard line. Tight look from Denver, needing 3. Pressure on Kane! He's going down. The blitz from Tahir Whitehead ends this drive. Yeah, this is looking like a football game between 2 teams with 9 combined victories. Raiders football in a 2-minute drill, and they start with a draw. 3rd down and 6 against single high. Carr steps up, he'll dump it off over the middle, and that is going to be shy of the 1st down. Miles Jack with yet another tackle. So this becomes a 2-minute drill for the Broncos. And here's Kane with a strike! Yes, it's Noah Fant, and that's a strong start. Up to the 42. 4-man rush, Kane middle, Richie James is there. Gain of 6. 49 seconds to go. Denver has only 1 timeout left. Flag on the play, knocked away and deflected into the air. Thankfully not picked off this time. It is a holding call against Dalton Reisner. 2nd down and 14. Kane, oh, he's way off the mark now, and Richie James was wide open. He's got to settle down. He played much better a week ago. 3rd and long, out of the pocket. Kane will float it, and James is unable to make the catch. The coverage stayed tight the entire way. What is this supposed to be? You gotta watch out in week 17. Offensive coordinators just empty out the playbook here, and it's just a Richard run to take us to half. The Broncos had a really nice opening drive. Unfortunately, it was about the only positive of the half. Over in Los Angeles, the Miami Dolphins are currently trailing by 14. Sharquez Towns is getting some playing time now with Jesse Heikkinen, who's put together a pretty good rookie season. We'll talk about his numbers later. Meanwhile, in KC, the Chiefs have finished the year 8-8. Patrick Mahomes did not have a very good last game of the year, so the door is wide open for the Chargers to take the division if they win today. The second half opens with a little Bradley Chubb action. He's able to sack Derek Carr. Now on the screen pass to Josh Jacobs, tackled by Damian Charles. A 3-and-out starts this quarter. Let's see if Kane is a little settled down now. He had those 2 interceptions. Really didn't look the same after the first one, but not much on this attempt with Royce Freeman. Bigby and James line up right. A lot of speed over there. Good protection. Kane airs it out and should have been intercepted. It was nowhere close to Richie James. It's been a long season. Raiders take over. Here's that formation again. And they're going to lose a whole bunch of yardage. I'll throw a poll on this episode, though. Who do you think the answer at quarterback is? Is it somebody on the roster? Is it another veteran out there on another team? Or is it a rookie entering this upcoming draft? I want to know what you think. We'll talk about some options here once we wrap up today's game. It is still a 7-3 game. This is not a game that feels like one we're winning right now, but we're actually double their score. More than that. Royce Freeman, here's some daylight now at last as he runs over a defender. It never gets old watching that, at least. Thank you, Royce Freeman. 53 yards on the day for Freeman. Now it's a throw on first down, and again underneath for Sutton. Gain of 7. 3rd and short. We need to create more of these scenarios, of course, and Freeman can run this straight ahead to keep the drive moving. 4 and change to go here in the third quarter. It's Kane, pressures in his face. He looks outside with it and throws it inaccurately toward Deshaun Hamilton. Kane is just 11 of 21 passing. And now it's 3rd and long. Sliding out of the pocket, crossbody throw right on target. Not sure how he pulled that one off. That's not the type of throw we want Kane making, but it worked. We'll take it. 32-yard line now of Oakland. 3rd down again. Kane well protected, and Courtland Sutton wide open. Gain of 20. Broncos in the red zone again. Trying to go up 2 scores against Oakland. This is a run to McKissick, dashing his way inside, down to the 5, tackled at the 3. And McKissick is down now, shaken up on the play. Freeman the back, 3 tight ends here for the Broncos, and it's a quick strike. It's a touchdown. Adam Kane to Courtland Sutton. Just his 3rd touchdown of the season. I did expect a lot more from Sutton. He'll be on the last year of his rookie deal next season. 14-3. Both teams obviously worried about draft positioning a little bit, but this Raiders team, they look like they might be a lot worse than our Denver Broncos. As Carr nearly throws a pick, Miles Jack. He hasn't had an interception this year, oddly enough. He's had a lot of opportunity. 3rd down now, and there's pressure. Down goes Carr, number 2 for Von Miller. Next year's the last year of his contract, by the way. Denver up 11 here in the 4th quarter, and Kane spreads the defense out. 3rd and 9. Here's a strike, and Deshaun Hamilton makes the catch. Those are the plays that I really like from Adam Kane, but the protection to make those throws hasn't always been there. Oh, man. And the pressure. You can tell he does not handle it very well. That's part of why Brooks started 7 games. 3rd down. Pressure in the face of Kane. Now dumps it for Freeman. He's right there, but maybe a little short. And they're going to punt this one. Backed up, way back at the 1-yard line. Oakland football. Ahead goes Jacobs to the 5-yard line for a little room. I wonder what the Raiders are going to do this offseason. You have to wonder if they're still going to stick with Derek Carr or if they want to make a move. There are a couple good quarterbacks atop this upcoming class. Of course, we could even consider one of these top quarterbacks. Unless Adam Kane wants to convince us otherwise. There's a strike for Sutton. He's had a decent final game of the year. Running right, Freeman. Nice run up to the 40-yard line. 74 for him. 6 minutes left to go in the season. Denver on the move. Play action. Kane outside the pocket. He'll fire one accurately for Jake Butt. And it's a first down gain of 21 yards. Kane has missed a couple throws you really expect him to make, but he's also made a couple throws that I'd never count on him making. Now he lost the football, and Cortland Sutton is there to find it and keep possession. He'd like to get another touchdown here, perhaps, but it'll be tough. 3rd and 14. More pressure! Dalton Reisner with a lot of problems this year. He will not be the starting center next season, I'll tell you that. Perhaps you were entering this video hoping that we would lose and help our draft positioning. You try losing to this team. Tremaine Atkins, the rookie, here to close out the rookie year. He gets a sack on Derek Carr. 2nd down, or 3rd down rather. It's a short toss, and this team has just not tried to do very much. They hardly showed up. 4th and 9, this could be the season here for Derek Carr as he looks downfield, and this ball is incomplete. Chris Harris with good defense, and that will bring out the Denver Broncos again, perhaps to close out the 2020 season. A pitch to Freeman, trying to get him outside. That one wasn't successful. 2 minutes left to go, and Kane is back to pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to be dropped back around the 40. Pressure has been a problem, especially here late. 3rd and 22. Kane with time on this throw as Big B cannot find any space to run. And that will bring out Brandon McManus, the veteran kicker. 55-yard try, his last perhaps of the season. It is good. And the Broncos take a 20-3 lead over the Oakland Raiders. Looks like the Broncos are going to get their 6th win on the season. We have just about 90 seconds left, and now they open up the offense. Carr finds Hunter Renfrow. Just over a minute left. Here's Carr now. It's up in the air, and it bounced over Callahan, who almost had a chance to close out the season. They'll try it on 3rd and 10. Here's Carr, hit by Miller, incomplete with Harris defending Antonio Brown. 4th down and 10 for the Oakland offense. Carr lets it fly and finds his receiver, Kelvin Benjamin. Come on, this season has gone on long enough. Just let it end. Carr on 1st down, again downfield. So you're telling me they couldn't have done this at all earlier? They just had to throw check down after check down? How about a touchdown? Now that they're finally trying to do something, the Raiders get a score. That's Marcel Aitman. And now it's a 20-10 game. Raiders looking for that onside kick. Scooped up by Deshaun Hamilton. He will fall on it, and the Broncos can run this clock out. The 2020 season will end on this snap, a Kareth White run, and that is it. It's over, everybody. The Broncos have finished the season with a 6-10 record, and we can now look ahead to what's next. I can't say that Adam Kane did enough these last 2 games to solidify himself at the top of the quarterback depth chart, and that's obviously going to be a prime topic of the offseason tomorrow, live, 2 o'clock Central Time, right here on the channel. I'd love to see your feedback down below. What do you want to see from this team in the offseason? What can we realistically do with one offseason to make this team better? What are the key additions we need? How can we make the most of it? Here are the playoff teams from this season with the Jets and Seahawks, the top seeds in their conferences. The Oakland Raiders, with their loss today, solidified themselves as the #1 selecting team in the draft. It looks like we're going to be picking somewhere between pick 5 and pick 8, but there's a tiebreaker there to figure out. Here are the division champions with the Ravens, Jaguars, and Jets. Led by Brett Hundley, had an outstanding season as he played in the place of Sam Darnold. The Chargers win the AFC West, the Chicago Bears take the NFC North. The Atlanta Falcons and the Panthers each went 11-5 to make it to the NFC playoffs. The Cowboys, they win the East with an 8-8 record. We will get into the recap portion of the episode now, and we're not going to spend too much time rehashing the same topics. Yes, the offensive line wasn't very good. We didn't have a true number one receiver. The quarterback play wasn't very good. A lot of things could have been a lot better. Still, we had a 2-win improvement from year one, and the second half of the season was much better for us than the first. Yes, there will be some slider changes for next season. There have been a lot of changes already in the works with the help of Matt 10. He's done a really good job ironing out some issues here, and I'm looking forward to what the games are going to be like next year. But clearly, we weren't very good. We had the worst offense in the NFL by far in terms of yardage, passing yards. It wasn't even good in the running game, but we were at least closer to league average in that department. But still, 14.4 points per game. Just 21 offensive touchdowns. That's ridiculously bad. We're last place in so many offensive categories. And it's really not because I play on 12-minute quarters. I've compensated with the play clock runoff to still allow us for a pretty realistic number of plays. We just aren't a very good offense. Defensively, we were very good here. We were able to hold most teams under 20 points this season, and I feel like we can still rely on this a lot moving forward. The rush defense was really elite, but I am working on sliders in that area. It's just probably the toughest area to work on with sliders. We had the number one scoring defense, very close to others that were elite in the league at the same time. We put together a 54-sack season, number one in the league. Bradley Chubb, William Hayes, and Von Miller were excellent. We were by far the worst third down team, converting just 1 out of every 3 third down attempts. We also tried to go for it on fourth down quite a bit, and we're only marginally better at doing that, 34%. In the red zone, my main concern is not only our touchdown efficiency numbers, but just our number of trips. We averaged just over 2 red zone trips a game. The defense in the red zone was very good. We allowed a league-low 17 red zone touchdowns. We were able to stay in a lot of close games. We just couldn't find a way to win many of them. We were also last place in turnover differential with a -17 with 24 interceptions given away. The rookie quarterbacks had a very difficult season given the offensive line, given their own skills needing time to develop, and also at wide receiver. It's not like we were elite there. What I do wish I had done was sign a veteran on this team and not just count on Drew Lock as the veteran. Clearly, I wanted to move on from Lock after his rookie season, but I think that it would have been beneficial to have another veteran on the team, especially when Kane and Brooks just clearly weren't playing better. We could have turned to somebody else. This offseason, I am absolutely looking to sign a veteran. I do think that Kane was better than Brooks, although Brooks might have more upside with his star development and his ability to throw outside the pocket and his throw under pressure. But right now, his accuracy really holds him back from making a lot of important throws you expect your quarterback to make. On the ground, I liked when Phillip Lindsay was in the game, and I still hope we can find a way to make a deal with him this offseason. I don't want to replace him necessarily. Royce Freeman, I know his average is extremely low, but I still feel like down the stretch, he had some good success, and I'm still excited to play with him again this year and hopefully have a much better year if we can improve the offensive line. J.D. McKissic, he had a couple big plays this year that propped up his average big time. In the first game of the year, he had a 75-yard run, but overall, he had some really nice carries, and he was able to give us a spark when very few players could. I was disappointed that neither Courtland Sutton nor Deshaun Hamilton were able to truly become those number one wideouts. They didn't have high yards per reception. They really couldn't make an impact downfield. I tried a lot with Courtland Sutton to make those plays, but it just would not happen. He did have an 81-yard catch, and that was basically all catch and run, but unfortunately, we don't really have a big play element in this pass game. The one player that really pleasantly surprised me was Noah Fant, who had a very quiet rookie season, kind of a quiet preseason as well, but when he gets open and we can put the ball on him, he can make plays. I tried to get him a lot of involvement this season. Most games he hovered right around like 50 yards or so. I'd like to get him the football even more. He averaged 41 yards a game. Damian Ratley had a few big plays early in the season, but it wasn't anything that was consistent. Here were his top games, and then obviously a lot of games where he just had a catch or two or even none. Now, he played a lot because Richie James was hurt at the beginning of the year, and by the season's end, I felt like Richie James again passed up Damian Ratley on the depth charts. Few more catches here down the list. Kari Bigby didn't get that many chances until late in the year, but I think at least on special teams he'll have a nice role next year. And then Bo Lee had a touchdown. The O-line. We all know the problems start here. Dalton Reisner was not ready to be our starting center. We really screwed up not getting Rodney Hudson in the offseason. I really wonder what could have been different with this team just with that move alone. I feel like we wasted an elite year from our defense. Myles Jack, 182 tackles, 3 players with double-digit sacks, and William Hayes ended up leading the team. He had a huge second half of the season, and it was unbelievable his consistency once he got going. There were a lot of multi-sack games. He had more multi-sack games than single-sack games. 4.5 sacks for rookie Tremaine Atkins. Justin Simmons, I thought he played pretty well. Will Parks. I also am really happy about the rookie situation defensively. Christian Baxter, 3 interceptions, and we now know that he has star development. And with next year being year 2, I expect him to continue taking a leap forward. And then there's also Damian Charles, who I think just is a solid cover corner. And we have to make sure we're ready to move on from Chris Harris eventually. And Charles also has 74 catching, so I want to see the type of playmaker he can become. But no interceptions here his rookie season. We'll go through league leaders quick. The touchdown leader for quarterbacks was Carson Wentz with 38. Interception leader, Tom Brady with 21. Todd Gurley led the NFL in rushing with over 1,700 yards. In the pass game, yardage leader is Julian Edelman. For passing touchdowns, that would be Quincy Enunwa. The Jets were pretty special this year. I'll have to go through them after this. Myles Jack led the NFL in tackles. For sacks in the AFC, the leader was Myles Garrett with 21.5, almost an NFL record. And in the NFC, looks like Aaron Donald led the way. Artie Burns had 6 interceptions. That was enough to lead the league. It's been a special year for the New York Jets, and one that came out of absolute nowhere. Sam Darnold hurt his Achilles last season and hardly played this year. I think he's healthy now. He might be their starter, but Brett Hundley's the one that got them the number 1 seed. 31 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Unheard of production for Hundley in his NFL career. Let's go through these awards now. I haven't taken a look at these yet. Marcus Mariota is the league MVP of the 5-win Titans. They really have to look at win total here when they're deciding some of these things. And I can't believe that Brett Hundley isn't even top 10 because he absolutely earned it. Adam Gase, Coach of the Year, with the Jets going 12-4. Mariota is Offensive Player of the Year. Jesse Heikkinen, number 4. And we'll go through all of these rookies from the Kalispell draft class. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Von Miller came in 2nd. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jesse Heikkinen, which is absolutely what I expected would happen. Now, he had a very different season than Adam Kane, but both were on 6-10 teams. Here was the full top 10, by the way. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Luke Dunn. He beats out Christian Baxter, who was in 2nd. He had a great start, too, with those interceptions. Here are the rest of the positional awards. But I fully expected Heikkinen to be very good and become the Rookie of the Year in the AFC. Meanwhile, in the NFC, Rookie of the Year, Wendell Fletcher of the Seahawks. And then defensively, Ramon Locker. And the rest of these awards. Jesse Heikkinen, after a bit of a slow start, finished with a 30-touchdown, 9-interception season. He does have superstar X Factor. He's already an 80 overall. Josh Rosen, meanwhile, is still a backup, and he has a year left on his contract. I saw in their final game, they were finally involving Sharquez Towns, who didn't play a ton this year. He was behind Kenyon Drake, Gio Bernard, and Kalen Ballage. But overall-wise, Towns is now the second highest rated back on the team. Next year, he should get a lot more playing time. Mike Harris ultimately didn't have any catches in his rookie season. Centarius Phillips didn't have any catches, which is ridiculous considering how talented he is. But the Browns were very stacked at receiver, and I guess he never found playing time behind Odell Beckham, Josh Gordon, and Jarvis Landry. Glenn Hayes must have only played some special teams. He ended up with 6 tackles. Chad Sweezy had 6 catches in his rookie year for the New York Giants. And finally, Reno Springs didn't get to play much with the 49ers. Unfortunately, a lot of these players ended up going to teams with really deep position groups that they're a part of. But I think in this upcoming class, as Blackjack has done a lot more with many more players, we should see a lot of them make an impact around the league. Here is this season's Pro Bowl roster, and Brett Hundley was the #1 quarterback in the AFC. How many Broncos, though? Well, Andy Janovich made it to the Pro Bowl at fullback. Nobody at receiver. Definitely no offensive lineman. But on defense, William Hayes makes it. How about Von Miller at left outside linebacker? Bradley Chubb. Our defense is still great. And somehow, Kareth White made it as a punt returner, even though he returned like 1 punt this year for 2 yards. I think instead of the Pro Bowl, we should just pretend he's about to have this amazing offseason, because I don't know how he made it to the Pro Bowl. It was actually 2 punts for 1 yard and just a few carries. But he gets 3 points here to spend. So 66 overall, Kareth White. Agility, awareness, elusiveness, and spin. Let's go for it again. And now elusiveness, speed, juke, and spin. And one more. 68 overall now for Kareth White. Break tackle, juke, spin, awareness. Here are his current ratings, and we'll see him again this preseason. I think Damian Charles has a bright future looking ahead. He now becomes a 78 overall, getting man coverage +3. I love seeing that. Rookie Tremaine Atkins, he had 4.5 sacks this year. He surely has a long way to go still, but he's now a 73 overall. And finally, we have a chance to upgrade quarterback Adam Kane. And I'm really hoping for some short accuracy here, maybe some medium accuracy as well. Field general upgrade, please be a good one for Kane. Awareness up 3. Deep accuracy, and throw on the run. I still think there is a potential future for one of the quarterbacks on our roster, but I just think we have to go find a veteran potentially to go into the preseason with to see how they play, and then to have as a plan in case these rookies or these young quarterbacks aren't ready. We could also look to the draft again, but is the solution going to be there when we have to get better right away? Here are the playoff results, starting with a big 38-7 win, Houston over Baltimore. Chicago defeated Carolina, the Patriots over the Chargers, and Dallas over the Rams here in this NFC wildcard meeting. In the second round, the Jets can't get a playoff win. They lose to the Houston Texans, and yes, they did turn to Sam Darnold after the great year from Brett Hundley. Deshaun Watson had a very nice game. Cowboys over Seattle, Patriots win, Bears win. In the title games, New England going to the Super Bowl again as they defeat Houston. Tom Brady looking for yet another ring. I guess it's never enough. And they'll be meeting up with the Dallas Cowboys as Dak Prescott had 2 touchdowns and Ezekiel Elliott ran for 2 as they beat the Bears in a close game. We will sim through the Super Bowl in the offseason, and that'll be streamed, of course, tomorrow. So now we can take a last look at our scouting board, and there are some very good players here at the top of the draft. I'm not sure exactly where we're picking, but it looks like it's going to be at number 7. And I fully expect we can address a number of areas here. I think receiver can be considered, offensive line. You could look at quarterback if you wanted to. The top in this class appears to be Oliver Raymond, who has late 1 talent, but he might go pretty early. Justin Colbert is also a late 1 talent at quarterback. I think my preferred option right now is to address the offensive line. There are some really good tackles, but there's also an elite center who has early first-round talent, and he could very well be there when we pick at number 7. Norman Proctor, excellent run blocker. We have to get somebody who can anchor the middle of this offensive line, and nobody in this class could do it better than him. Offensive line looks to be very strong atop this class, and given our struggles, that's kind of my first thought about this offseason is let's start by getting an offensive lineman. As we lack a number 1 receiver, I'm also very interested in both Jason Burgess and Terrell Corville from Northwestern. Excellent release, great spec catch. I'm really looking for a receiver who brings more speed to the table, though, than Sutton and Hamilton, and somebody who has higher deep route running. Here is a look at our draft board currently at the moment, and between now and the offseason, I plan to do some re-ranking here of position groups and really look at how I want to attack this draft, because we can't afford to have an offseason like the first one in the series. And if you want to tell me some of your favorite prospects here, you can let me know down below in the comment section who you think could make the biggest difference on this team. By the way, if you wanted to see potential veteran quarterbacks, maybe somebody we can make a deal for, here are all the quarterbacks in our league. And I'm not sure exactly what opportunities are going to be out there on the open market, but I have identified a couple quarterbacks that might even be interesting if we have to make a trade. I wouldn't want it to just be like a 70 overall quarterback. I'd like to go a little bit higher. Somebody who could mentor our quarterbacks a little bit, and somebody who, if we needed to turn to a veteran to play, could do so at a fairly high level. With that, our season has come to an end. Year 2 is over, and I cannot wait for the offseason. I can't wait to make this team better and to hopefully have a brighter future looking forward to the rest of the series. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed year 2 despite how difficult of a season it was. Please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow as we start a new chapter in the Broncos franchise here on Madden 20. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.